Wilson County Public Library teenagers, and happy Friday. I hope you have not floated away in all this rain that we've had. Luckily, it's all gone now. It has stopped, but I hope you didn't have to build a raft and just go float around for a while before it stopped, because it's been madness. I almost floated away a couple times myself. So I hope you are doing well, and I hope you're starting to dry out a little bit, because it's been nasty. Let's face it, it's been really nasty outside. So welcome once again to TGIF, Wilson County Public Library's one and only weekly book chat for teenagers. My name is Kate Britton. I am the teen librarian at the Wilson County Public Library, and I am so glad that you are joining me this week for a brand spanking new edition of TGIF. So I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for tuning in. And we've got a new book to talk about this week, like we do every week. And they're not always brand new books, but we try not to talk about something we've already talked about before. So anyway, without further ado, let's jump into this week's book. Okay, so this week's book is The Children of Blood and Bone by Toni Adeyemi. And this is actually a series. The second book in this series came out just recently. That one is called The Children of Virtue and Vengeance. But Children of Blood and Bone is the first of this series. It's actually Toni Adeyemi's very first, it's her debut novel, and it has been picked as on multiple lists, like New York Times bestsellers list, Boston Globe, what else, Publishers Weekly, School Library Journal, YALSA. It was like the best fiction pick, and YALSA is the young adult kind of library group for librarians. So this has just been all over the place, and it is going to be made into a movie by Lucasfilm, which is really exciting, and it really lends itself to a something like that on screen. So this is really a page turner of a book. If you like things that have really strong fictional lands and like a sense of place, this is going to be one of those books for you. It's influenced a lot by Toni Adeyemi's. She has her heritage is West African, and so it really draws from that heritage that she has into building this really interesting and diverse landscape. So this book is told from multiple points of view, and it takes place in this land where magic has disappeared. It was all over the place. The place is called OrÍsha, but magic was kind of the way of life. It was a magical, beautiful place. And then 11 years before the book starts, the king who is in charge there figured out how to turn off the magic, and he did that, and killed a lot of the diviners, who are the people who have the capability to become magical magi, and so you have this conflict between like the diviners and the king, and the people who want magic and the people who don't want magic, and it's this kind of a real quest of good versus evil, and it's a story of friendship and betrayal and even some love, and it really has to do a lot with today's a lot of like social themes regarding race and religion and things like that. And it's a very complex it's a very complex plot line. Not complex in that it is hard to read or hard to understand, but there's a lot going on, and it's got really a lot of really interesting characters and creatures, and the way that the magic works, and the different kind of factions that you have in OrÍsha. It's makes for this really lush, magical, interesting landscape, and it's hard because I don't want to say much, because I don't want to give too much away, but if you like anything that has to do with magic, even if you don't, This is a page turner of a book. I've been reading it and I really can't put it down. And I think that this is something that you would probably really, really enjoy. And like I said, the newest book in the series, Children of Virtue and Vengeance, is out. So like I said, I don't want to tell you too much because I don't want to give away any of the plot. And I don't want to tell you too much about the characters because I don't want to give away much of the plot. So I really hope you are okay with bearing with me with my very vague kind of description of this book. But just, I want you to trust me. Look at me right here. Trust me when I say you will not be sorry that you read this. And how many times have you heard me say this? How many times have you heard me say this on the show? Never, right? I mean, I'm encouraging you to read it. I wouldn't put anything on here that I think you wouldn't like. But definitely pick up this book, Children of Blood and Bone by Toni Adeyemi. It is fantastic, and I think you will love it. And I think you will probably want to tell your friends about it. And I promise you, you will not be able to put it down. So that's this week's book. Like I said, I tried to tell you as much as I could without giving the plot away. And I hope you're okay with that. But you gotta trust me. It is coming up, so we're in November right now. We're coming up on Thanksgiving. And next month we are going to be doing a Zoom book talk on The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. So if you want to chat with me about this book, there will be a link to a Zoom meeting. And you can come on and we can talk about the book. It'll be a guided discussion, if you want. But I think that'll be a good time. And so email me at kbritton@wilson-co.com to register for this book talk for The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. It'll be in the beginning of December. I want to say December 7th. Do not quote me on that. But I have it on the calendar, and it will be lovely, and I would love to chat with you. Anyway, listen, go wring yourselves out. Go dry off. Chill out. Have a wonderful weekend. Get plenty of rest, okay? And I will see you next time right back here on TGIF. Bye, guys. Be good.